Alright guys, today I'm going to be breaking down this trade right here that I took. Let's jump straight into it. I usually start off on the daily time frame, and here essentially what we could see was price came down and it swept this daily key level here. Now this is key because if we see this get broken down, then that means we're potentially heading for these levels here. But we didn't see that happen. Instead, what we saw was price came down, took out this level, just swept it, and then it reversed straight from there. So that's the first sign that price is now bullish. Now, I will say, when the market was around this level here, I was thinking that we may see some sells in the market, right? We might see some sort of downward movement, but we never really got it. We sort of stayed in this area and then we broke a little bit higher again. So there was signs of the market slowing down and potentially going down, but it never actually occurred. So that's another thing that happened, right? And that's what made me think price could potentially go higher. Because what we essentially saw, if we ignore this part here and we just focus on the price action here, we can see that overall the market has been bullish, right? If you look here, the market is bullish as ever. And what I really liked was price had a nice minor sweep here, and it had a really strong break of structure. It broke the previous structure to the left. So this tells me that, hey, price is really, really ready to move towards the upside. That's it. And when you pair that with the fact that there's liquidity here, that makes it even more compelling to take a trade. I'll explain what that means. Basically, we had a good level here, right? If I put it here, we had some really nice levels here. What this essentially is liquidity. We want the price to create some sort of equal high, some sort of structure for it to target, because this is where other people are going to be selling. People are selling here. People are selling here. If they're selling here, then that means they have their stop losses above these levels, maybe somewhere here, maybe somewhere here. I don't know exactly. But that's where the market liquidity is. And that's where we want to be aiming for. We want to be getting out where other people are putting their stop losses. Right. That's it. That was my entry criteria. Now, when it comes to actually entering the trade, I wanted to show you guys my losses as well, right? I don't claim to win every single trade. I win maybe 30 to 40% of my trades, which is still pretty solid. And yeah, all you need to do is just have a good risk to reward ratio. And as long as you have a good one, you should be fine. You don't need to have an 80%, 90% win rate. Anyways, let's have a look here. We had a minor sweep here, and then we sort of started seeing price move towards the upside. So I entered here, ended up being a loss. No worries. What do we see after? We saw another sort of minor sweep, and we started seeing price move towards the upside. I entered here, moved my stop loss to break even, got taken out at break even. It is what it is. Same thing here, right? We had price sort of move, we had price come deeper, and we had price sort of, we took out this minor, we took out this level here, but it wasn't very high conviction for me. So I went half risk again, and I ended up getting taken out at 0.5. I think I lost about 22 bucks on this trade. I think that's how much I ended up losing on this one. So yeah, those were my three losses here. And the reason I wanted to show them was, again, everyone loses. It's part of the journey, and I'm not going to shy away from them because it's part of the game. You just have to learn to deal with them and learn to sort of minimize them wherever you can. Okay, that's it. That's it with the losses. Let me show you the win now. Essentially, we had price take out a minor level here, and we saw a nice bullish movement here. And I remember I was talking to my best friend at this point. The market was around here, and I showed him the trade. I was like, there could be a potential entry here, and I ended up putting in my order at around 3:30, 4 o'clock ish. And the idea was I wanted price to sort of come into my 618 zone, which is my preferred zone. I love that zone, and I was going to aim for. Originally, I was going to aim for. Let me see if I can find it. Originally, I was going to aim for these highs up here, right? Because it was good liquidity to target. It gave me a solid risk to reward ratio, 1 to 10. Can't go wrong with that. Potentially, potentially hundreds of dollars there for the taking. So that was going to be my original trade idea, right? But here's where I wanted to sort of break it down for you, right? Just because you have an ideal trade idea doesn't mean it's always going to pan out that way. In this case, it did, but it's not always going to pan out that way, right? And I'll tell you how I actually managed this trade. I bought here, essentially, price moved up really, really well overnight. But when I woke up in the morning, it was around this level here. It was around this level. I was up about 3R at this point. Now I'm thinking, okay, we've had price move up, so it does want to go bullish, but where am I comfortable taking profit? And this is where you sort of use your intuition. Obviously, I was wrong because price ended up going to the final TP and much above as it is right now. But this is where I sort of just use my own thinking. We have liquidity here. We have liquidity here. And we recently had a bit of liquidity here. Price came here and it pushed down. What does that tell you? There's even more sellers here now. Look at these equal highs. Look at this high. Look at this high. There's people selling here, meaning there has to be some sort of liquidity around this level. Maybe there's some stop losses above here. I'll see if I can change the color. Right, there's got to be something here is what I'm thinking. So I basically moved my target here. I'm like, I'm happy taking profits around this level here, this level, maybe this level to be safe. And yeah, that's when I changed my take profit level. And when price was around here, I basically decided I've had enough. I'm going to take 75% of the position off, and the rest of the position hit at around 11 o'clock, or yeah, 11 o'clock at night last night, midnight last night. So essentially, I didn't hold it for as long as I could have. Maybe I should have, but I'm happy with the risk to reward that I've made from this trade. Can't really complain about the way it worked out. Yeah, it was all good. Let me show you on my account. Let me see if I can find it. Basically, right here, I had the loss on GU, then I had the break even, like I showed you, then I had the minus $22 trade, like I showed you, and then I had these two trades, which it's essentially one trade, but this is when I took 75% of the position off, and this was when the rest of the position eventually hit my take profit level. So yeah, overall this ended up being what does that equal to? That equals to about 210. If you take away the swap and the commission, it'll probably be -8, so maybe around 200, on the trade. It's very good for the evaluation. Can't complain. That's the process. You're not going to win every single trade, nor should you expect to, but it's just about managing your losses and believing in the trade idea. As long as it matches market structure, as long as you're reading what the price is actually telling you. That's it. Hope that helps. Peace.